When we have something, we see it through habit. Only when it's gone, do we see it through absence. Most people have been through this. They just didn't realize it at the time. Many things in life feel normal while they are still there, nothing special. Nothing worth overthinking, but when they disappear, or stop being the way they used to be, their true value becomes clear, not because we are careless, not because we look down on what we have, but because humans get used to having enough. When things are there, we don't question them. When something is missing, we start looking back, and in that moment, truth begins to appear. Loss is not always dramatic. It doesn't always come with tears or separation. Some losses are small, ordinary, quiet, yet they slowly change how we understand what truly matters. One of those things is time. When we are young, time feels expendable. Being late feels fine. Postponing feels harmless. We believe we can make it up later. Time feels endless. Use it today, there will be more tomorrow. Miss it once, and we assume there will be another chance. As life gets busier, time becomes tighter, but still not tight enough to stop us. We shorten meetings. We cut conversations. We delay what seems unimportant. We tell ourselves we are too busy now. We'll talk later. We'll make time later. Only when time is gone for a person, a task, or a chapter of life, do we realize how easily we traded it away, not because we didn't care, but because we couldn't see its true value until it was gone. Health works the same way. When the body functions smoothly, health becomes invisible. It doesn't demand attention. We wake up. We work. We live, and we assume it's normal. Very few people wake up and think they are lucky just because they are healthy. Health only becomes noticeable when it is no longer the same. It doesn't have to disappear completely. Just being not like before is enough. When the body starts resisting, when fatigue lingers, when pain repeats, when things that were once easy are no longer easy, that's when we start looking back. Only then do we realize that small things we once ignored, sleep, food, movement, were actually the foundation of everything else. When we are healthy, we trade health for work, experiences, results. When health declines, we are willing to trade almost anything, just to feel normal again. Familiar relationships often follow the same pattern. People who are always there, always available, always familiar, are easy to take for granted, not because we don't value them, but because their presence feels stable. We get used to them being there, just as they are, and assume we don't need to hold on too tightly. We reschedule easily. We reply late. We ignore small signals, thinking there will always be another chance. Only when the space appears, when conversations stop, when silence stretches on, do we realize how much safety that familiarity once gave us. Some relationships don't end in conflict, they simply fade. They drift away, they disappear quietly, and it is that silence that makes certain values visible only after they are gone. Not every loss is loud, and not every loss looks like a tragedy. Some losses are quiet. An old habit disappears, a sense of safety that once existed slowly fades, a belief that once helped us walk steadily can no longer hold together. These losses don't collapse life immediately, but they quietly change how we understand what truly matters. When something disappears, what remains is naturally re-examined. We begin to see what is foundational, and what is merely supportive. Loss does not create new value, it reveals value that already existed, hidden by familiarity and habit. So why do most people only realize what matters after it's gone? Because when we have something, we see it through habit. Habit dulls feeling. Habit removes questions. We live in a state of use, without thinking much about meaning. When something is lost, we see through absence. Absence forces confrontation. There is nothing to fill the gap immediately, nothing to hide the sense of lack. And that's when questions begin to appear. We look back at what we valued, what we ignored, what we traded away without knowing. Absence is uncomfortable, but it is honest. It doesn't allow self-deception, like when everything was still intact. Many people fear loss because they believe it only brings pain, but loss does not only take away, it exposes how we live, how we choose, how we prioritize our lives. Realizing late is not meaningless. Not everyone is clear-headed enough to recognize value before it disappears. That doesn't make them less capable, it reflects a truth people learn through experience, not theory. Realizing after loss still matters, if it leads to adjustment. What matters is not prolonged regret, but understanding what was learned, and living differently afterward. Some things, while they remain, we never fully see their value, but once they're gone, we never forget the feeling of absence. The question is not why we lost them, the more important question is whether we live differently afterward. Do we keep trading what truly matters for things that don't last? Are we clear enough to protect core values while there is still time? Maybe the most important thing is not avoiding every loss in life. That's nearly impossible. Maybe it's about not realizing what matters only after it's gone. Each of us has lost something: time, health, a familiar relationship. Looking back, what became important to us only after it disappeared? If this story touches your experience, share your thoughts in the comments. It might be something you lost, or something you still have, but now see more clearly. Sometimes, reading another person's story helps us realize something before we have to learn the lesson the hard way.